I think the Flipside was not a horrible game. Wait, like let me get dressed for the occasion for this video. I think that's better. Look at me. Look at me. Look at who I guess who I am. Guess who I am. Guess who I could be. I don't know. So there are things about Class of 09 the Flipside that I actually kind of liked. I know that sounds like weird to say considering the game is like 40% just foot content, which is weird. I agree with that. But just if we ignore the weird part of it, like of that stuff of those 40%, it's like interesting because you get to see more of like for example, Nicole and Jekka's like relationship. If she doesn't include her in the business, like in doing that, then she just goes for Jekka's dad, which is like crazy to me. But like what I've also heard a lot of people say that I agree with is you really get to see Nicole as not the main character and not very like likable automatically just because she's the main character, and that this game shows how bad of a person she could actually be, because she is, but you don't really realize it because you're supposed to be playing her in the first two games. So there's like a difference. Yeah. What I also find quite interesting is we get a look into the world of these characters that we know, and like the world that we know that's been like built and set up in the first two games, but like from a different character's perspective and from someone who also like who actually has emotions, which is like crazy because that's like a human thing. But if Nicole's a sociopath and we see it through her eyes, we're obviously going to see it a different way in the Flipside. And I think if people call the Flipside bad just for the foot stuff and just make it all about that, I feel like that's like reducing it a little bit, because there's not really good endings, but it is very interesting. I think I don't know. Yeah, I feel like it makes it feel like more, like realistic instead of just looking at it from like, oh, dull sociopath. I don't feel anything about this world. That sounds really bad. No, I'm sorry. Just like it, like, you know what I mean? Like it makes you feel like for her, because I mean, who wouldn't react like because like she has emotions. Jekka has emotions and she shows them, and that's probably surprising to like people who play Class of 09, because you're used to the usual like, these people all want me and I don't care and I hope they all die. Like, I feel like it's just very interesting. What I also kind of liked is how I think I mentioned this, but like I mean it, because you can see like the emotion in it, and Jekka's voice actor, I don't know how to say it, Mills, did a great job actually, and is like, especially when Jekka's opening up to Miss Ames, like, it's like, that's like really emotional, and I think she did a great job there, and just for the whole game. I really like that. A lot of people seem to complain about how it's like difficult to laugh at this game when the other two were like easy to laugh at. Yeah, because you see it from someone else's perspective who doesn't just see the world like a sociopath would. I feel like the main character having emotion is like having emotions and feelings and perceiving things and reacting to them. I feel like that's shocking to Class of 09 players, because we're not used to that. We're used to like seeing them, like the main character being a sociopath. So I think that's also playing into, oh, I didn't like the Flipside, it was too serious. I feel like Nicole is just like treating the serious topics with like humor, because I feel like humor is something she can express. I don't know. It's just she's funny and sociopathic, and then Jekka is just as like real. Like, it's like, I wouldn't say they're like opposites actually. I would just say like in the feeling and portraying and like reacting, like emotion and stuff and reacting to things, it's just Jekka's a lot more real and just a lot more human. I'm not saying sociopaths are inhuman, but it just feels a lot realer, if you know what I'm saying. One more thing I liked, the Hat Man. I feel like people agree with me on that one because I've seen the Hat Man be like said to be one of the best characters in the whole Flipside, so yeah, I guess, and he's really cool and funny. Well, I'm made of shadow, so I'd have to go into your brain and get you the... I'm stealing the loose change in your car. Like, I don't know. I like the Hat Man. I think he's cool. Yeah. What kind of bothers me about people, like, perceiving the Flipside as a game is just, like, how bad certain things are in comparison to the rest. In the first two games, especially, like, just in the first two games, every single male teacher is a pedophile, and they mention that, and they show that, and one of them maybe isn't, but he's racist and a white nationalist, and like really bad guys, and you know, Nicole's mother is abusive, her brother is also a pedophile, all the teachers are pedophiles, like I said, like, and she tries like selling drugs, and you know, there's scenes of her getting shot, and like actual insane things happening. And then in the flip side, there's a 40% of the game is just like scenes where she's stepping on boys. I guess you could say that's weird, but it's not like the stuff before wasn't like freaky as fuck. Cause like, come on. We had pedophiles, abuse, and death in the first games, and now you get upset when there's people who like getting stepped on. Like, I feel like there's bigger problems than that. You could also say the same thing about the first two games. Oh, this game was just all male adults just being pedophiles, man. Yeah, I don't like that game because of that. And that would be valid, but then if you don't say that, but then say the foot stuff as criticism about the flip side, I feel like then that's a bit, you know, weird. I don't know though. Oh, another thing I liked is how in the flip side we get, like I said, you get to see Jekka's perspective, and it overlaps with the other games, which is really cool. Like, you get to see it's in one of the, like, it's in the ending where Nicole ends her own life because she's hanging out with a bunch of idiots, and they all pressure her into meeting again, and she doesn't want to, but she's stuck because of her mom pressuring her to do this and be nice. That really sucked, and I got really sad after watching that ending in like the original, like, first two games. I don't know which one it was actually. I got really sad after watching that ending, but then we get to see like Jekka's perspective and why she was so bitchy about, like, to her, like, you have a choice to make, it's me or your hostage friendship, like, and that makes sense now because, like, we get the context. I feel like the flip side is better, it's better to have the flip side than if we didn't have one at all, because, like, we get insight on how she felt in that moment and why she was, like, being so bitchy to her, because she had good reason. I would also be pissed if, like, the counselor, the school therapist got, like, the police called on me for dating a teacher. I would also be pissed. And then I would be mean to my best friend because I would be pissed in the moment. Not directed at her, but I feel like that makes it real and more understandable. what I've heard people say is it feels like super like slower paced. There's less humor in this, and it's way more dark. Like I said, it's like kind of, you know, it's kind of weird to say that when in the first two games you had all the horrible things that like happened in the first two games. You can't just ignore those and then call them out on the third game when there's foot stuff like added to that. They were hinting at, for example, Jeffrey being into feet in the first games. Like, maybe if you took your shoes off and stepped on his face. Yeah, it's okay, Jeffrey, run away with me, I'll stuff you in my back pocket. You know that scene? They hinted at that, and now that you actually see it, you're disturbed. But making those jokes wasn't disturbing at all. Seeing, the coach and, like, or Jeffrey creeping on, you know, girls, that wasn't disturbing at all. No. Seeing the coach literally, like, killing and then, to, like, our main character, that's not disturbing. Seeing her end her own life, that's not disturbing. Seeing her try to end her own life, that's not disturbing. Bro, what, like, seeing a kid jump off the roof, that's not disturbing. Seeing them do, like, actually, like, really bad drugs, that's not disturbing. Fuck. Seeing everyone get, like, sexually assaulted in the game, that's not disturbing. But then when someone likes getting feet on their face, oh, that's disturbing. This it feels so wrong. Yeah, because like serious topics aren't treated with like humor for once, and it's like just actually showing you the stuff. It feels like there's less humor in this because it's treated so seriously. Oh, hope that helps. Like, because she actually has emotions. Oh my god, fucking. I've been going on for 12 minutes and 12 seconds now. I feel like that's a lot. Maybe I should stop before this gets too long for me to upload. Yeah, love you guys. Love everyone who came from Twitter. For this video, I went downstairs and my heart started racing really badly because I ran just to get the shirt out of like the wash, like, because it was gonna be washed, but it didn't, so I just put it on again. That's kind of disgusting. But yeah, I love you guys. Hate mail is welcome, but not like appreciated. I don't care if you're gonna hate on my videos, because a lot of people did that on Twitter and I got confused. Because why would you do that? You could just block me. There is an option to hide users from your channel so they don't comment on your videos anymore, and so every comment will be deleted. It's a really cool feature, and thanks YouTube for that. Now only YouTube, could you please add so we don't have to see sounds anymore, or we can just, so you can say not interested in this sound, not interested in this hashtag. I feel like that would do a lot. Thanks. Love you guys. Bye.